Hi, I'm Pete with F Body Warehouse. On your 70 to 81 Camaro, one of the biggest problems people find over the years is that the AC upper and lower vent hoses decompose over time. This is because the factory GM units were a paper-wrapped wire tube. GM recently discontinued both the upper and the lower hoses, leaving the second-gen owner at a loss. Well, we have done some research and we have found a conversion kit that we're going to be offering. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to install this onto your factory duct system. On 70 to 81 models, what you have is you have a main relocator which takes the wind coming from the fan blower through the inner heater core box and up and out to the various ducts. This unit sits behind the dash, and on 79 to 81 is slightly different. We're using a 70 to 78 for reference today. This sits behind the dashboard. This would be your dashboard mounted center vent. This leads out to the passenger side. This leads out to the driver's side. And below, this leads to your lower AC lap vent that sits on the underside of the dashboard. Through a series of large hoses, they connect and run down to the far left and far right corner pods. These hoses that we have are going to attach that. And installation is very easy. We're going to walk you through the installation. The factory hose was 3 1/4 inch. Unfortunately, that hose is not available. But what we do have is a 3-inch and a series of adapters that are going to plug onto your plenum. We're going to call this the plenum. What you'll do, you'll take this and you simply slide it on to the left side, and then you'll slide this one on to the right side and push them in place. You have one mounted there, one mounted there. Our hoses thread. If you can look inside there, it's actually threaded for a good secure fit. As you can tell, this is how it would sit on the car. This leads down to your passenger side corner pod. This leads over and down to your driver's side. This actually goes behind the cluster and down to your driver's side pod. Our kit is available 2 ways. First, we can sell you another adapter for the left and right vents, which will allow you to install, which will allow you to install just as we have on the primary by screwing it in. This, however, is a little bit of a lofty upgrade, as it will be another $20 in order to get these 2 extra ones. So, for the guy who's on a budget, there is a solution. The base kit that we offer only comes with 2 of these. However, this was factory a 3 1/4 inch hose. Our unit is a 3-inch hose, and that 3-inch hose can be pushed into the lower corner vent, like so. Now what you'd also do is you would take a flathead screwdriver and you would push it down a little farther, and so it enters the chamber farther. You then have it installed. That screws in once again to the center plenum, and now you have left and right primary lead chambers. Now, one of the big things that I really want to stress to you today is when you're hooking up your heat and AC system, whether you're using vintage air or you're just going back to factory, if you have holes in these hoses, you're going to lose fan force, which is the force of the air coming out of the vents. Making all of this airtight throughout, it's going to make your car blow the AC and the heat just like it did when it came off the line. Secondly, you have the lower left and right crotch vents, which are the vents that sit on the underside of the dash and are flush mount. We also provide hoses for that. You have the left hose and the right hose. On the passenger side, all you do is it simply slides over. Now what GM did is they put a staple there. You can use a staple, some two-sided tape, or even a little bit of adhesive. This will then connect onto the lower lap vent and it will be installed. On the main plenum, as it sits, this is your center vent. On the underside of it, you have a tube there. Once again, our hose installs onto that, and how you thread it on is you just literally push and twist, and it spins right on. GM once again stapled these. You can use two-sided tape, adhesive, or a staple. This then runs down to the driver's side under dash vent. Recently, as I said, GM discontinued this kit. It used to be you could buy a bunch of this hose GM. Unfortunately, you can no longer do so. A lot of the larger companies just listed as discontinued. And of course, here at F-Body Warehouse, as we always do, we strive to bring you products that you can use to help you with your restoration. We also, this is our base kit, which comes with the plastic wrapped metal hose. We also will be able to provide you, if you wish, at an upgrade, the correct paper wrapped hose for a true restoration.